homeless living here in Yonder is really not a good thing. I done been in a situation where I had to live in almost pretty much abandoned building with no water, no lights, you know, just to have a roof on my head to sleep.
A light switch. We don't think nothing about flipping it on. But when you don't have a light switch to flip on, something that little and something that you don't even think about it. That's tedious. But when you don't have that light switch to flip on, then you miss it. Something as common as taking a bath or a shower, you miss it. Go in the laundry room, you don't have that privilege, you miss it.
We ended up downtown, and it was by like the police station. It was like this brick building, and we had to spend the night there. And I mean, when I went there, seeing all those people homeless, I mean, I saw children, and it's like, they're like, you staying here tonight? I'm like, here? What is this place? And I mean, it's like, it was people fighting over little things that you put on the floor. It's like, I guess, little mats that they had. And I was so afraid at that point, because I was like, I do not want this for me and my kids.
I've even worked at the radio station and was sleeping in my car, and they didn't know. And I would go downstairs, and you know, the parking lot was, you know, underground. And in the daytime, I worked overnights, and in the daytime, I sleep in my car. I had everything that, you know, all my belongings was in my car.
We estimate that in Georgia there's about 20,000 people that probably could benefit from supportive housing. That's a large number, but it's not a number that's out of reach. You might ask, where are these 20,000 people today? They're in our nursing homes at extremely high expense, and they're in our jails, they're in our shelters, they're on the street, they're in and out of the hospital emergency room. I like to call that an emergency delivery system. It's not a systematic way. It is the most expensive way to meet the needs of people. We're trying to transform that system so that we can shift resources out of that emergency system into a system that is more logical and it's based in housing. Supportive housing is the place where people can live so that they can get the treatment for their disease, so that they can then have an opportunity to be in recovery from that disease, to understand their disease, to understand the things they need to do.
I'm dual diagnosed, bipolar manic depression, also a recovering addict and alcoholic. Once I got into the shelter, I began to seek help for my mental issues. And as I begin to seek help, I take medication and see my counselors and doctors.
I was diagnosed with major depression, bipolar, so I got medicine and therapy.
I was diagnosed with chronic, what do they call it, chronic anxiety when I was 17. I used to have nightmares, and I don't even have nightmares anymore. I don't have as many anxiety attacks. They come and they go. I feel like I finally can breathe now. I feel like I'm finally living.
The mission of the Shelter Plus Care Program or any of our supportive housing programs are to supply people with treatment-based housing who are willing to be in treatment for their mental health issues or substance abuse disorders, and put them in quality, affordable housing, and they can maintain it for the rest of their lives. One of our unique things that we have in our Shelter Plus Care Program, we actually have 8 homes that were foreclosed homes that we bought in Douglas County with some funds through the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. We renovated those homes and we put 8 females in those homes with children. They had to have 2 children or more. These are clients who never have lived in a house. These are children who've never had their own bedroom. They now have their own bedrooms, they have a house, and you'd be amazed at the pride that they take in and actually living in a house versus an apartment.
Lane came to me and she like, how would you like to move to the house? I thought she was just playing, or I mean, I didn't know what to expect when I got here. I like it a lot.
Our staff are called residential case managers. They go out and work with the clients on individual goals as identified on the ISP, Individualized Service Plan. They work with budgeting, they work with price comparison for food, they work with further education if they want to go back to school, they work with helping them get their GEDs, they work with children, they help, they link them to parenting classes, they do anything that's needed to make clients become more independent and self-sustaining.
George got my SSI started. He got my Medicaid card started, thank you. And he saved my life more than once out of this apartment.
I learned medicine management. I learned good coping skills, how to love myself, self-esteem. I became a peer specialist. And, I met all my goals.
Right now, I'm in the process of getting my GED. And then I go into the certified peer specialist.
In order to qualify for any of our supportive housing programs, whether it be shelter plus care, supportive housing programs, any of them, the client must be willing to be in treatment. Being homeless is not the only criteria that they have to be willing to. There has to be evidence. They have to be willing to be in treatment and agree to that upon admission to the program. If not, 3 hots in the cot is not what we're about. We're about sustainability and independence and putting people in quality, affordable housing and decreasing the homeless numbers to the best of our ability.
We have a unique opportunity to do something good for people, which all of us want to do, and at the same time save the public dollars in a more efficient delivery of services.
Like I said, I don't think I would be here. I don't think I would be alive if I hadn't somehow got into the program. So I'm thankful every day that I got a roof over my head, and I'll tell you, a lot of people, they don't understand and they don't realize we take a lot of things for granted.
If they had lost funding, I don't know what I would have done. That was my fear, so. But it didn't happen, not yet, so I'm happy about that.
I believe everybody needs a home. It's the place where our creativity comes out. It's the place where we get the support so that we can take advantage of the opportunities that exist in our society. Supportive housing is connecting affordability of housing with the support services that give people the opportunity, and really it's the opportunity to become successful in life, to overcome some of the disappointments that they've had, some of the barriers that have existed, some of the difficulties, to overcome their disease in many cases, understand their disease, to manage their disease, and be able to go on to other achievements. The housing with supports is, I think, the key to people achieving greater things in their life.
This is a blessing. This is a miracle. This is everything. I never thought I'd never get back on my feet, but here I am.